Good morning. Once again, today we think about this concept of love. I'll be getting back to the 15th chapter of John in a few moments, but I just want to come back to it again as we've been discussing it for the last 2 days. As I said, when we just speak about love at the present day, eros becomes the very center of what we are speaking. You can't put on the media or watch films or television programs these days without eros somehow being at the very center of the story. And that's a pity, because the other forms of love are very often set aside. Yesterday I was talking about the great form of filial love, friendship love. People are almost frightened of this form of love at the present day. I had an aunt who was a nurse, and at that time, nurses didn't marry. And at the end of her career, she and a friend set up a home together and lived for many years with a filial love for one another, friendship love. And no one ever thought for a moment that it had anything to do with eros, erotic love. But today, if people set up home together in this way or live together in this way, immediately people are suspicious that somehow this is more than just filial love. It is in fact erotic love. Now today I want to pass on to another form of love, and that is caritas. Now caritas can be a very difficult form of love, because quite simply it insists that you speak the truth to one another. Imagine for a moment a patient going to a doctor, and the doctor examines them, and he finds out, or she finds out, that they're very ill. And they come back for the results of the tests that have been taken. And the doctor says, because I love this person, I'm going to say to them, everything is fine, everything's all right. You needn't worry. But because he tells them that, in 6 months later, they'd be dead. Instead, when the patient comes back to the doctor, he says, because of my duty, I must speak to them in love, and I must speak with caritas love. I must tell them exactly what is wrong and exactly what they must do at this moment. It may require surgery. It may require treatment. It may require all sorts of things. I remember myself when I was a hospital chaplain that one of the surgeons had to speak to a young woman who was in the hospital. She had developed cancer in one of her legs, and he said to her quite simply, to save your life, I must cut off that leg. That is caritas love. It can be dangerous because people can use it against each other, telling people what is wrong, pointing out people's faults. Be careful, because it can be misused. But at the same time, we must recognize it as part of the love. In the 15th chapter of John's Gospel today, Jesus says to us, the world will hate you. The world will hate you. They've hated me. They haven't accepted my word. The world will hate you. How can the world hate you if you're trying to love the world? Well, it's because if you truly love the world, on many occasions, you may have to use caritas love. Now, as I look at the church of the present day, I find there's a great desire to be inclusive. Anybody's ideas are acceptable. Anything anybody wants to do is acceptable. However they want to live their life, it is acceptable. Nothing is outside the bounds of what the church can accept. And God says, no. If you truly love people, there will be times when you'll have to speak to them with caritas love. You'll have to tell them, for instance, there is no way to the Father except through Jesus. Yes, we may be living in a multicultural society, but the Christians will still have to say, there is no way to the Father except through Jesus. And certain things are acceptable to God, and certain things are not acceptable to God. And if you insist on doing those things, you will displease God. If the church starts speaking in ways like that, then the world will truly learn how to hate the church. It wants everybody to be the same, everybody to be inclusive, everybody to be accepted. And God says, no, no, no. There are rules. If you want to mature and you want to grow, then you must learn from me, and I will show you what you must do. But as you speak to the world will hate you, because you will have to express to it caritas, love. Amen.